Most people won't get fit by next year, and it's not because they're lazy, it's because they're focusing on the wrong things. After 8 years in the health and fitness industry, a degree in exercise science, and working at top gyms like Equinox and some of the best in Miami, I can tell you this: it's not about your workouts first. It all starts with these three crucial principles, and once you lock them in, everything changes. Before we start, I just want to say welcome back to the Be So Good channel, where we're all about elevating ourselves from the inside out. This is episode 3 in our weekly Mate Chat series, where we just take a moment to slow down, sip on something warm, and talk about the real stuff, especially all the little things that shape how we show up in life so that we can live more intentionally on our own terms. So let's dive in. Principle number 1 is that we're going to start focusing on increasing our TDEE and basically move your body more without overthinking it. Now, before I lose you and you're like, what the heck is TDEE? All it stands for is total daily energy expenditure. And this is where most people get it wrong, thinking that they need to start with an extremely strict gym plan. But the truth is, your body burns way more calories in the 23 hours outside your workout than it does in the 1 hour inside the gym. And if you're sitting all day, let's just say that you are making your journey way harder than it has to be. Let me give you a personal example of a client of mine. We actually tracked her steps when she was staying home or just going to the office, and she was getting an average of around 2,000 steps a day, which, if you know, is not ideal. That's not a lot of steps. And then on days where I told her park a little bit further away, or if you're gonna go and get something for lunch when you're at the office, physically go to that place and get lunch versus ordering it. Maybe we're meeting up for a session and she's having to walk from the car to see me. All those little tiny changes that she didn't even feel throughout the day. It wasn't like she was dedicating another hour of going to the gym or going to a workout class or doing anything like that. It was just small little lifestyle tweaks throughout her day would take her average. It was ranging around 6,000 to 7,000 on those days. That's basically triple of the steps that she would get when she's just staying home or just going to the office. Whether you're good at math or not, triple the movement, you know that that's obviously going to be a lot better for you. And overall, you're just going to be burning more calories throughout the day without really even realizing it, without it having to be an extra chore that you're doing. Some of the action steps here can be to try to get anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. Actually, one of my recent videos is how walking 10,000 steps a day absolutely changed my life. So if you're interested to see that, definitely go check it out. I'll have it linked in the comments below. Another actionable step that you can take to increase your TDEE is to stand or stretch between calls or just when you're at work. Just really anything to move your body. It doesn't have to be in a way that's hard, that's difficult, in a way that you're going to a CrossFit class and feeling like you're dying. Not all movement has to be like that. If anything, if you're trying to be healthy, if you're trying to move as you get older, being able to do it in softer ways, like taking the stairs, walking to get your lunch, walking and chatting and meeting up with friends over maybe going to a happy hour, all those small little tweaks are going to help you increase your total daily energy expenditure without realizing it, without it feeling like a chore. There's a reason why people in different areas of the world that walk everywhere, that use public transportation, I'm just gonna use Europeans as an example, where you're like, oh, but they're eating pastries all day and drinking wine, but their daily life, they're moving way more than we are in America, and that's just the reality. And unfortunately, because our lives aren't molded that way, you're gonna have to just take those tiny little actionable steps and change a couple things, and you're gonna notice how your body and how your mind are gonna change as well. But even knowing this, most people still fall off. Why? It's because they try to be perfect instead of being consistent. And that brings me to principle number 2, which is show up consistently, not perfectly. And we all do this. We go all in for a week, but then burn out because we missed one day and we feel like we failed. But you don't need to be perfect to make progress. You just need to keep showing up. Progress doesn't come from just going hard. If you're doing 70% consistently, you're already doing better than someone that's doing 100% inconsistently. This is again something that I've seen all the time, and I even work with my clients. Or you have that typical person that thinks like, I'm gonna start training from never training, maybe like 5 or 6 times a week. And I already know that that's a recipe for disaster, because we're not setting the foundation of building that momentum of consistency over just following the perfect plan from the get-go. So some action items so that you don't fall into this trap. Set a minimum baseline. Move your body 2 to 3 times a week, not 7 to start with. Set that minimum, build streaks around that consistency first, and then you can build upon the intensity. And also track what you did, not what you didn't do. As humans, we always focus on where we're lacking or where we could do more, and you forget to sometimes just give yourself a pat on the back. Maybe it's been years since you've been able to go to the gym or to a class or do a sport 3 times a week, and maybe you've achieved that for 2 weeks, but in your head you thought you were going to go 5 times a week. So even doing the 3 feels like a failure, and that's so not true. You just need to reframe that and remind yourself like, wow, I haven't gone 3 times a week in the last years, and I finally have been able to in the last 2 weeks. I should be proud of myself. You need to be kinder to yourself and celebrate all the tiny wins that are showing you that you're building consistency. And here's the thing, even if you're moving and showing up, if your food is all over the place, you're gonna feel like you're spinning your wheels. And that brings me to principle number 3, which is eat real and balanced foods, not just less of it. So what's the first thing that people do when they want to get fit or lose weight is they cut calories. But if your meals don't have enough protein, fats, nutrients, you're gonna feel tired, frustrated, hungry, even if you are technically eating clean. And this is such a common mistake that I see time and time again, because also, let's be honest, diet and food is a lot of times harder for most people, myself included. I love food, I love snacks. If you want me to make other videos on like recipes or how my partner and I meal prep, or my favorite breakfast, lunch, dinner, anything like that that you feel like is gonna help you, please let me know in the comments. I am such a foodie and I love my sweets and my meals, and I have found so many ways to make my favorite dishes and drinks healthier and more nutrient filled and everything like that. So if you do want to see more of that, just let me know. But really, you want to first focus on reframing and focus on adding nutrients, not just subtracting calories. I think a really good phrase here would be to make food feel supportive and not restrictive. That is also coming from someone, I've said this in other videos in the past, where I've had an eating disorder when I was a teenager, a very long time ago, but nevertheless, I have had a lot of different phases with food, and I've learned so much from food. I'm in such a good place, and I've taken all those lessons to also reframe how I personally see food, how food fuels my body. I also understand that it can be the hardest part in people's fitness journeys, because it makes sense. Food is everywhere in our lives. It's social, sometimes it's emotional. So locking this in can be the hardest part, but it also doesn't have to be as restrictive as so many people make it out to be, which again, going back to the first 2 points, is why so many people, and maybe it's happened to you while you're watching this, where you've fallen off. Maybe you've been on your fitness, you've been going to the gym, and you just haven't been able to lock in the food aspect, and you do feel like you're spinning your wheels. You're like, I'm killing myself, I'm going to the gym, I look exactly the same, or maybe you've even gained weight. Food really is 80% of the work, and it's so cliche, but you can't out-train a bad diet, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you can't find ways to enjoy food. So some of the actionable steps that we're gonna do here is you're going to build meals and snacks around 3 basics: protein, fats, carbs, and also just from like a nutrient profile. I know that I have personally been that person where I was drinking whey, eating all the protein bars, doing all that stuff, and I didn't feel good. Just because it was low calorie and high protein does not mean that it was good for me. There's also a balance, and you're also gonna learn what's best for your body. But if you just overall, big picture, think about making sure that your meals and your snacks have a relatively good balance, maybe some more than others. Again, my whole channel is about doing things intentionally, and I really, through my experience, have learned that it is so individualized, and I hope that this can help you build some tools so that you can apply it to your own life. But just focusing on that from a macro level can be extremely useful. Another actionable step is you're gonna prep 2 meals that are your kind of go-to when life gets really busy, because let's be honest, life does get really busy very often for a lot of us. I don't know why. I feel like now I have to dance every time I take a sip just to make it a little less awkward, because I'm drinking this by myself over here. But hopefully you're drinking something too, so it's a little less awkward. But going back, 2 meals, 2 snacks that are your go-to, no matter what, no matter how busy life gets. Same thing, if you want me to make a video on my 2 favorite go-to meals, my 2 favorite snacks, how we meal prep over here in the Be So Good household, I would love to do nothing more. So just let me know in the comments if that's something that you would find useful. And the last actionable step is that we're going to avoid the snack all day, eat no real meals trap. And this is also coming from a girl that loves her girl dinner. I love me some good snacks. I love snacking on a bag of siete chips late at night, or if I'm really tired, I kind of just come up with whatever plate of randomness that deep in my mind I know probably is not the best option, and it's not going to help me feel satiated. It's not going to be balanced. It's going to spike my insulin levels because maybe it has a lot of sugar and carbs, no protein, all that stuff. I'm telling you these things, I'm human too. Just because I've worked in fitness and the health and fitness industry for the last 8 years and trained a bunch of people doesn't mean that I don't experience these things too. But I can tell you both from client experience and personal experience that just grazing and snacking all day and not eating proper meals is just an energy kill. And it also doesn't help with the whole building consistency aspect. So these 3 principles are really meant to build upon each other. We are halfway through the year. You can change so much in 6 months, and getting 1% better in each area every day can literally change your life and your fitness. So yeah, these 3 principles aren't fancy, but they are foundational. And when you build your life around getting movement in, eating real food, real life consistency, being fit stops being this constant restart, and it finally starts to become something that's sustainable throughout all the different seasons. And I also understand this as someone who went from being in the best shape of my life to injuring my back and my knee. That's a separate series or episode that I am thinking about making and sharing how I went from being fit AF to losing it all, and what I thought was going to be a couple months of an injury becoming basically almost 2 years of my life, where I had to redefine what fitness and movement meant to me. So I would love to take you on that journey. If that's something that you're interested, let me know in the comments so I know that it's something that you would actually like to see. I'm also planning on being a little bit more active on the tongue twister, on the posts tab on YouTube. So keep an eye out for polls and question boxes. I want you to help shape future episodes. And if this video helped you or resonated with you, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really supports the channel and it lets me know that you want to see more chats like this. Also, don't forget to hit that little bell notification so that you never miss a new Mate Chat episode. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I am so excited for your journey, and I hope to catch you in the next one or in any of my other videos that YouTube thinks you'll love here next.